life gets in the way. There is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get the YouTube channel.
Okay, 9 live now. Hi everybody.
Hi. And hi. Nice winter day in Houston.
Oh, Houston, winter now. Houston.
No skiing, no snow. No one knows what it is, but it's winter. It's chilly.
So, what are we talking about today?
Oh my
Natalia?
Let's see.
Because
Um,
yeah,
How committed we are, right? We want to know how committed we are in life, or
Yeah.
how we can actually manage that, or why we are not committed.
basically, yeah, we're starting with a foundation because we were, in the previous sessions we was giving some communication tools, then we were giving some, cognitive, explaining some cognitive constructs which might prevent us from being satisfied and happy or fulfilled in relationship. But what do we start with? What do you think all relationships start with? Is a foundation. And let's talk about it. What do you think is a foundation for your relationship?
Commitment.
Oh, first of all, let's define a relationship. Sorry.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And you guys, you can, whoever is
Yeah,
there, there's
whatever.
someone on Instagram, I guess. Yeah, we can ask questions. We don't see them, but we'll answer
So,
afterwards.
yeah, what's relationship for you?
Yeah, what is it?
Hard to put in words. For me, a relationship is a bond between two souls, whether it can be human beings or animals, doesn't matter. Bond between two souls.
Bond.
Yeah.
Fun. That's a good way to put it.
So
So
you think-
somebody who
It
came
can be
together.
bond, negative, positive,
Yeah.
any bond, but just bond.
Yeah, somebody who came together for whatever reason, right? It may be learning from relationship, it may be enjoying the relationship, maybe moving on after some less, right? But
Yeah.
Right.
but something has to be at some level, at least at some point, something has to be stick together, at least for some time, bond, right?
And I feel a lot of people mistake when they think about relationships just between two human beings. I tend to say that it can be between animals, between plants, anything, any living organism.
Yeah, but all relationship, even if they're between animals, so a human and plant, right? Water, a plant, that's our relation with plant, and
Yes.
plant gives us joy. That's our relation with a plant. But what's also involved? Some kind of interaction, right? And some kind of a commitment. So we commit to water a plant. What the plant commits to us, we don't know, but there is certain commitment of a plant, to grow. Or if you was a pet, you committed to feed pet, to walk pet if needs to, and pet is in his mind, I'm sure they have some kind of minds, I do, animals, and they committed to give us joy, to help us spiritually, right? And so what do you think commitment is? I mean,
No,
relationship
hold
is?
on. Let's one more question I have.
Mhm.
Do you think there is any situation possible where there is no relationship?
Hmm.
No
Question.
I'm not sure.
But what do you mean, no relationship in
Yeah,
general? Or-
Based on the definition we
Yes.
just had,
Yeah, possible.
it's possible to have no relationship at all.
Like in a lifetime or in general?
You mean
In
for,
general.
You mean for human being? Is it
Mhm.
possible?
Yeah.
I think I have my answer, but I will be the last one to answer.
Professionals keep our.
Not professional, just my personal life.
No, yeah, there is. I don't think so. I feel it's impossible. Human beings are social animals. They tend to form relationships, sometimes with themselves. But yes, they tend to look for relationship.
So, for instance, you enter the room, right?
Right.
You are in a known city, in an unknown place, and you enter the room, and you don't know anybody there, and you have no intention to do anything, right? You just happen to be, maybe your flight was cancelled, you know, some circumstances. You enter the room and you start seeing like colors, you start having emotions about what you see, right? You start having your inner feedbacks in your consciousness, and you register something in you. So what's happening then? You have your emotions and you don't show anything, you don't reflect anything, right? It just goes down somewhere or anywhere. Or you start being more like maybe looking more happy, sending more positive impulses to the environment, right? Or to people there, because there are some people there. And once you send some impulses, people receive them and they send them back or whatever, It's just a scenario, right? So, for instance, like, do you think we could just be somewhere and not have any relationship to anything? Yeah?
No, I don't think so. I think wherever you are, you're always forming some
Yeah.
relationship, knowingly or unknowingly, without your conscious efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
I
only
had-
example I see, I saw the video about the person who lived in the wild by himself for years.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't have any.
But he probably had relationship with forest, with animals, with wind.
Yeah, like Mike said, with himself, because we all, whether we want it or not, we do have a relationship with ourselves.
But Lida had an
Consciously or
interesting-
Okay, I
subconsciously, yeah.
misunderstood your question. Now I see what you're saying.
Okay.
I thought different.
Oh, you thought romantic relationship. Did you think
No, no, no,
romantic?
no. I meant, in my mind, you asked, like, with all of the people or living creatures, like with some you will have some positive whatever relationship, with some not.
Mhm.
Like, is in our time when we have that electronics, you just cover yourself, like you close yourself inside. So
Yeah.
could be 100 people around,
Mhm.
no relationship with them. Nothing. It's what I thought, but I understand
Okay.
your question now.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Actually, it's a good point, because at this era of technology, how do we form the relationship, right? Not to mention commitment in the
Yes.
relationship.
I mean, I think that's a different level of, that is still a relationship. You're not forming a relationship, that is still a kind of relationship. Yes, that thing of not committing is a kind of relationship that you have using the electronic thing. You're still bonding.
You bond with your phone.
You're bonding in a different level, but not committing to it. So that's a relationship too. As I said,
Yeah, of
relationship
course,
can be
yeah.
positive, negative,
Mhm.
not bonding.
Then it
That's
becomes karmic. Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, now it actually, what you said brings us to the next question. Do you think any relationship can be maintained without a commitment?
No.
Maintain
Great
and
question.
survive and no?
Straight up, no.
Why?
Um,
Easy to say no.
yes, because relationship, when you define bonding, which is the definition of relationship, it's like a marathon. It's not like a sprint race. In a marathon, you have to give a commitment. So the more you commit to a relationship, in whatever way you are, it would tend to be like it would tend to grow. The relationship will just maintain. If you just don't commit, it will not be a relationship.
Yeah, it will just dissolve. And why?
At some point.
Because at some point, because no relationship, even the relationship with yourself, actually that's probably, we're not going to talk, that's a completely different subject, completely different day, but no relationship just goes smoothly all the time. There is always bumps in the road. So you always fall in relationship, and the only way to get up and continue with the relationship is commitment. And that's what we want to talk to you about it today, and actually not just talk about commitment, but provide you with some workable tools
Right.
of how to know what you're committing to and how to maintain the commitment. I just want to start with one quote. I'm going to read it because I love this quote. It's about commitment and comes from Aaron Beck, who worked a lot on cognitive behavioral therapy and who wrote books about relationship and commitment. A
Our
true-
favorite by now.
well, one of my actually favorites, because I studied him a lot. A true commitment, and actually I really like this quote because it sums up lots of things which we're going to talk about today. A true true commitment requires that partners get immersed into relationship and learn from experience the satisfaction of living and acting as a unit, less than like separate entities. A major aspect of commitment is determination to maintain the relationship even after difficulties, disappointments, and disillusions. Relationships can be saved and improved if couples could put their energies into solving their problems instead of running away from their problems. So, what does it say? Every relationship will have disillusions. Every relationship will have disappointments.
Oh, might have.
Might. Well, no, not even might. I think it will.
Yeah. Okay.
It may be different levels. There is no ideal relation. Even if, like my favorite example, monks on the top of the Mount Hill, they have relationship with higher power. Even this relationship is not without disappointments and disillusion. Because like losing my religion is like people get disappointed God once in a while. That's a disillusionment in the relationship. So when you get disillusioned to disappoint, what do you do? What's the easy way out? The easy way out is react. And like lots of people do in this day and age, especially with this Bumble and Tinder and all this thing, I was thinking, why? And actually, that's one of the dangerous technology, and it will show in the new generation. Probably the people who like 20-some, early 30s will see how their relationship will form in 10 years, because it's an illusion that there is always more fish in the sea. There is something better out there. So they say, why would I work on relationship? Why would I compromise? Why would I put myself second sometimes? Because that's what you have to do once in a while. When I can go online and get somebody even better looking, richer, who will treat me better, and I don't have to do anything. And that is a
world of Maya.
But this is a mindset of many young generation. And even with the people who get older with life, I feel if something difficult happens in a relationship, why would I put myself second? Sometimes you have to. So what's the driver for commitment? So what is a driver? Why would you even want to stay in a relationship? If
Love?
it's love is one thing, but
That's
what
a
is
good
love?
one.
But what is love? What is love, really?
For me, stability is important.
Stability.
Yeah.
I think you're getting somewhere. So you would stay in a relationship because you want a stability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because emotions go up. There are ups and downs in emotions. You might feel love one day, you might not feel love the other day. You might feel angry some other day, you might not feel. You feel happy, next day you might not. But stability is more important than any of those emotions.
Okay. So what you value in a relationship is stability. So what is the reason I'm asking you that? Because I'm going to give some handouts in a second. Lida, when you will stay, if you would want to stay, what will make you to stay in a relationship that might not be completely satisfied with? Well, something happens with your partner, but you would say you would want to stay. Why? What's your main driver or drivers?
I think the first lesson we were talking about different levels of what we're looking for in people, and if I found that one that my level, what I'm looking for, I know it's my thing. Of course, it's not perfect, blah blah, but I would stay because I don't need to look for something else if I found it.
You mean somebody kind of spiritually connected with, right? In a way.
You can say that.
You could say that. So for you, connection is important in relationship. Stability, connection. What about you? If you don't mind sharing this.
I said love.
Love, okay.
It's
So,
probably the highest level of affection and attraction.
but love, when you mean like a physical love, emotional love,
All shades of love.
So
The
basically,
best to have all levels.
yeah, basically love
Oh,
is
thank you for
yeah, it's a
clarifying.
chemical reaction. You feel attracted to somebody. So attraction is important. to you.
Chemical reaction.
Yeah, attraction is important to you, right? So you have to be excited. Yeah, so you have to be excited about this person and attracted to him.
I heard love lives for years.
It depends on the climate.
It changes its form.
It changes.
It depends on the climate.
Oh, it depends on the person, depends on people, depends on sometimes like erotic love or physical love can stay with a couple for
Yeah.
the whole life. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it turns into friendship.
But
It
it's
just
what
depends,
I'm
really,
saying,
it really
like,
depends.
after that love over, after 3 years over, then you have to develop, before you have to develop some other connections and you have to be on the same page
Yeah.
to continue.
And that's actually what our kind of today, we're going to talk about that too. How do you? First of all, we're talking right now, we're talking about values. And I'll tell you why in a second, why I'm asking you these questions. And Yulia, if you don't mind sharing, what's your, if you would want to stay in a relationship, what would be your main driver?
You should like this person in many ways. So it's love is a strong statement because I think it can fade with time. But when you like, it means it's interesting with this person. It kind of like gets a lot of different features in there. So respecting,
Mm-hmm.
being aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean you have to be aligned all the time. That's normal, but you can disagree. But basically, I guess accepting each other that would be very important. That goes back to respect.
So what I'm hearing, it's important respect and shared interests.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing, that's what's important to you in relationship. So stability, spiritual connection in a way, attraction, shared interest and respect, and divine sharing,
Fun.
fun. Okay, having fun together, that's a value.
I'm
Okay.
not staying without
So
fun.
see, everybody went a little bit of a different route. Everybody named something different about what would be the main driver for them to stay in a relationship that sometimes can hit a roadblock.
And also friendship.
Or friendship, it can be value. So why is it important to know that? Because lots of people when go into relationship unconsciously, and then when relationships showing some breaks, they think, well, they kind of think, yeah, I might get committed, I might not, and when they're having this decision, what's important to know when you're making a decision, if you want to stay in a relationship or not, is your values. Why, and not just values for relationship, but the kind of what kind of a person you are, what you value in life, and what you value in relationship. So you already, so say if you feel like your relationship doesn't have a stability, it might not make sense for you to work on it. Or if you don't have a spiritual connection, you might have a stability, but what's important to you is a spiritual connection more important than stability. Or your relationship, as an example, might have a stability and spiritual connection, but you're not attracted to this person, so it's not be something that you would value. Does it make sense to you? And say in your case, it might be excitement and fun and spiritual connection, but you
And
don't
my
feel
case
there is,
could be anywhere in that case.
yeah, but you don't feel respect, so it's not the relationship that you would value, that you would want to invest your life in. And Natalia can be all of that, but the person might be the most stable, the most spiritual, the most sexually exciting, but no fun.
Yep.
It's not going to be something. That's not going to be something she would
Bye.
want to
That's
see.
not
that's-
nice to know you.
That's why it's so important. Even it's preferably before we get into relationship, but when we work with couples who hit like the kind of a crossroads in the relationship, is they want to stay. No, it's the first things to know is what is your personal values. So I'll just pass this around, and I will. That's the first step. Could
Are we
just
going to
pass it
shoot
around?
there?
Hmm?
Are we going to shoot
No,
there? Is
cannot.
it the target?
No, can I have actually, Lida, can I have one? If there is, I think that would be enough.
Yeah, I wanted to also add about commitment and relationship that usually, and I think it's relevant to everything in our life, is that when you have a goal and motivation, right? So like when you're at work, right? You have a goal, but whether your goal is to make higher, to raise your salary eventually, to have your salary raised, whether your goal is to get promoted, whatever your goal is, whatever maybe your goal is to help humanity, to cure or anything. The same in relationship. When a person has a goal, when in that relationship, and when they both have the goals that match in a way or complement each other if they don't match, then I think that's a major factor for commitment and survival of the relationship. Because when people don't share the goals, not just like some random, but everyone has some goal in the head, right? And what they want to do in life. If they don't, if they feel lost, then the whole relationship goes like, roller coaster. You kind of experiment and see where you go. And maybe that's why when we're young, in this physical life, we have all these experiences, and then we try to find our goals, and then we finally, when we know what we want from life, then we work it with whoever we are with, basically.
Yeah.
But we have to have it like in our first session. When we don't have our base or foundation, our values, when we don't feel complete, we cannot find it in another person. It's not the right way to connect with in relationship. So the same thing with a commitment. Like when you have a goal, you're committed to that goal. Once your goals change, you can go from there. But ultimately, we usually have one like very stable goal in life that we proceed to. So I think that's
Yeah, that's actually
One of them.
exactly the point, because to know your goals, you have to know, before you start talking about value in a relationship, you have to know your values, what you value in life, how do you want to lead your life. So what it does, it just shows can be educational values, relationship values, personal growth values, and leisure values. So it's always great to see if your relationship is supporting, like Natalia said, a shared goal, if it's supporting of your values, or it's in some case can be interfering with your values, because that's basically no shared goals. Or sometimes maybe like, goals not quite shared, but you kind of exist side by side, but if that's a relationship you want, that's another question.
Yeah.
But the good relationship is support. So this is just a worksheet to know what's good. It's always to kind of know who you are, is to be conscious of your goals, and then see how those goals is connecting all together. And relationship is just one part of, relationship with significant other, as example. How it's supportive of your goals.
or insignificant.
Yeah. And actually, so first thing of committed relationship is knowing your values. What are your values in life? So once you know values, then you can set some goals for relationship and for your life. Like you said, shared goals.
I meant like your personal and
the relationship.
and relationship goals.
But this goal should be guided by your values, because you cannot have so many goals in life, right? You have to pick, as example, your goal, and it could be stability. So it will be connected to some of your values. So your values are stability, so your goal might have a fulfilling relationship. So obviously, when you're saying stability, is like emotional stability or financial, or both. What kind of stability? Both. So as example, your goal can have a stable career, which will allow you to provide for your relationship, have a stable financial foundation, right? And at the same time, your goal based on your value, stability, can be to develop as a person emotionally, so you can be stable partner to your partner, right? So as example, your goal is to enjoy, it's to become even physically healthy and emotionally healthy, so you can enjoy the spark in relationship. So your goals is to have relationship with spark. So you have to be, that's basically, so your goal will be a little different, right? And your goal, you want to have a spiritual connection, as example. Your goal based on your value might be to get to know yourself well, so you will be with a partner who can spiritually really connect. And as example, in your case, you want respect in relationship, right? So maybe your goal will be, because nobody can respect us until we respect and love ourselves. So your goal might be get to that point in your life when you say, yes, I respect Yulia and I love Yulia. And Natalia just have, fun. Fun is fun.
Gosh, she's so shallow, this one.
No, but it's, what? There is no such thing as shallow, and there is such thing as shallow. But knowing your values, because I have for you guys, if you want to have more, there's a lot. You can distribute it. That's also
But you don't have to, it's okay.
Yeah. And this you can just pass it around too. Because we're starting step-by-step thing. Because first thing is to know your values in a relationship. Second step is set goals, knowing you based on your values. So what we're talking about, the first step, and this is from acceptance and commitment therapy, the first step is what are my values that we just talked about. that will go into my goals. So the second step, when you're coming up with your goals for life, for relationship, there is guidelines. They have to be very specific goals. They have to be meaningful to you. They cannot just, what we just talked about, something that makes sense to you, personally meaningful. And it should be like we just talked about, guided by your values, be it stability, spiritual connection, spark, respect, fun. Those all the values. And at the same time, see how adaptive they would be. Meaning, if you're setting yourself a goal for yourself and for relationship, is it going to take you forward in your life? Is it going to, bullseye comes in? Is it going to help us achieve what we want to achieve in life? And relationship is just, it's a great component of life, but this is just part of life. Because we also have our work, we have our fun time, we have our personal growth, we have our health. So see how our goals, say if you're setting up goal for relationship, how it blends in our overall life and how it moves us towards our other goals. Realistic, obviously, it has to be something which we can, do in, at least in the short term, something realistic. And cool thing, if you want to work on commitment relationship, is to write your goals, like a medium goal, short term, medium term, and a long term goal. So basically what it does, why I'm talking about values and goals, because it gives you clarity. And the only way, not the only way, but the best way to maintain commitment in a relationship is to be clear, because people don't want to do something if they don't know why. It's typical existential thing. People can go through lots of suffering, through lots of distress, if they know there is meaning behind it. So what it gives you here, if you hit a roadblock in a relationship, if you want to maintain it, that gives you meaning. You know why to maintain it, and if it worth maintaining, so if it meets your values, so you know your goals, if it's congruent with your goals, and then, but how? So now we was talking why. Now we'll talk, because I'm just giving you lots of practical tools. Because in the first session we gave lots and lots of background, now I'm just doing practical tools. So we know why, now how. After you go through them, this is fun worksheet. So what it does, it's basically, there is a different values that people, there is about, how many of them? About 59, plus your own values. So what it does, it gives you clarity. So you go through all the values and say, okay, acceptance in relationship. Is it very important to me, quite important, or not so important? And you go through each one and be honest with yourself, completely honest and open. And Natalia will show us some meditations to be honest and open. And then come up with about, I don't know, what they say, Mark one was is they saying here, it's what they recommend in acceptance and commitment therapy is to pick your top 6. You can pick top 5. I wouldn't do more than 10 probably, because but then you will know what to say if you pick as example top 6 values. And you reviewing your relationship that might be on the rocks. And then, okay, let me see. How many of these values do I really have in this relationship? And then you can make executive decisions. Say if you have one value, but it can be leading value. As example, if stability is your leading value, you might say, okay, I might not have the 5 other values, but this is stability. So I would even rank them. This is the most important. Second, have stability, I might put more work in this relationship, even though this is the only value that I have in it. But say, as example, you rank stability first one, but I don't know, say cooperation going close, courage. So this relationship gives you courage. But this is like your 6th value. There is no stability, but there is courage. Then you think, well, maybe this is not my priority. Maybe I don't want to get that invested. Because what I'm saying, like not all relationship needs saving, because they really not, because if it's not propelling us forward, if it's abusive or we don't feel like we can be the person we should be in this relationship, it's not worth saving. But to know that, we have to know what we are and what is worth saving. And if we realize that this is worth saving, then we go through what we value guided action. how do we save the relationship? And this is a whole other topic, so today I'll just give an overview, because there is always lots of tools how to save the relationship. So after you've done your values, you can also write, and if there is something else here which is not listed. So basically, and even if you enter a new relationship, what it's a great tool for you, because you're getting conscious. Because when you get to know a person, you're dating, you kind of assessing if this another thing, if this relationship allows you to be the kind of a person you want to be. Because by looking at our values, like we talked, we cannot change our partner. We cannot make our partners behave or act or talk to us the way we want to act, the way we want it. But what we can do, we can live the life guided by our values. So if we feel that in our relationship have to compromise our values, or we are not being the person we want according to our values, then we have to think if this is a relationship really worth saving. Because our main commitment in this life is really to our in my worldview, in our mind, is our personal growth as a spirit, as a human being, who wants to get maybe next lifetime, whichever way you look at that, it's a different level in this. And that's why it's kind of really quickly circle back to our first conversation. That's why it's so important to know yourself first. Then when you know yourself, you don't project, then you see your partner clearly, and this is a practical tools of how to know yourself by very simple thing. One of the aspects is what kind of a person you want to be on this planet. What are your values? And then you'll see if your relationship meets your values. And then, okay, so how do you maintain your values in relationship? So what they called in acceptance and commitment therapy, they called value-guided actions. So once you decide that your relationship worth saving, you start behaving in it according to your values. So if you want commitment, you're being committed. And you can be expressed to your partner by words. I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. Or like gestures of commitment, or physical touch. And there is a whole actually other subject which is fun, which we can do at some point. It's lots of people know about it. It's called 5 love languages. It's to find out what you need and what your partner needs and give them the love in a way how they want to get love. So, do you pass it around? Yes, I'll give 2 minutes. Yeah, probably perfect. I just made enough for everybody. So what I would advise you, if you want to really get to know yourself and work with yourself, my advice would be to look at this worksheet first. Write down what's important to you in work, education, relation, personal growth. Just not thinking about it, just write it down. Then go and see how it's working out right now in your life.
You want to do it now?
No, we can do it, yeah, because it will take time. This one will take time, then go to this one. Now you'll have to think, because with this one, I would say do it like with your first hunch. Don't think too much about this one, just go with your gut. This one, kind of think about it. Because this is a good thought process. Because this is really important, because you're really thinking how you want to lead your life, by what values. So after you go through this one, then you might start thinking, okay, let me look what's important to me in different areas of life, what are my values, so how do I want to lead my life, and to do anything, to accomplish anything, you have to set your goals, relationship goals, personal goals, anything. And then, and this is mostly applicable to relationship, once you know your goals, how do I achieve my goals? And this is very, very high level. Then you think, okay, I have my values, I have my goals, so how do I achieve them? By doing certain action. And you think what kind of action align with your goals. What do you talk, how do you talk? And it's not about your partner. You're not making your partner, it's you living according to your values. So if your values is love, a spark, you're not waiting for your partner to give you the spark. You give the spark to your partner. You see what I'm saying? You're not waiting for your partner to give you spiritual, you giving this partner, you being open with your partner. You're giving him or her, whatever you're in a relation with, spiritual connection. You're not waiting for your partner to provide you any kind of stability. You give it to the partner, you being the one who is stable. The same thing here, you respecting. You're not sitting around and waiting for your partner to start respecting you, respecting yourself, and you respecting your partner. And you in charge of having fun. You're not waiting for your partner, you're not sitting around saying, you give me some fun. You are arranging for
That's
the
really
fun in the relationship. Because it's not your partner's value. If we're working with a couple, what it does, both people separately, doing value thing, and then we come together and talk about it. We talk about shared values, what values are shared, what values are not shared, and how it can be worked out. So each partner has to act, be the one who basically what it is, in order to attract, it's energy again. If you want to attract something, you want to attract the energy, you have to be this energy. You see what I'm
Be
saying?
the
You want to
change you
love,
want
you want
to
to attract
see.
love, you be love. You want to attract spiritual, you be yourself, spiritual, open connection. You be stable, you be respectful, be fun person which you are.
I'll try.
So, do you have any questions at this point? Because what I want to give you, like some basics, some overview of how to commit to yourself first, commit to relationship, and then decide how you want to live your, value-guided life. And that's the only way to being committed to your values. And the only way to be committed to relationship if you know the relationship is going according to your values. So, any questions? With that, we all overwhelmed you a little bit today with all these fun worksheets.
The question was, you were saying that we should work on our own values. I'm still not able to process it.
Okay, so you have to know, like, say, what kind of person you want to be. So what's important to you in this life? Do you want to be spiritual person? You want to be a practical person? You want to be cooperative person? You want to be a person having fun? Because we cannot have everything in the life. There is some priorities. So think what will make you happy. Okay, let's put it this way. What kind of life will make you happy? So how you do that? Let's say go through this list. Okay, you say, well, acceptance. Do I want to, is acceptance important to me? Maybe yes, adventure. Maybe I don't care about adventure. I would like stability. So that is not the value. Natalia will say, well, maybe stability is not that important, but I want adventure. So basically, you know what you want in life. Let's put it this way. You know what you want in life. And after you know what you want in life, then when you get into relationship, you're assessing if this is a relationship congruent with my values, with what I want. If this person is supportive of, and like I said, you cannot make this person to be, but you're assessing, you're seeing clearly. But if you're already in a relationship, then you know if the relationship worth saving because it gives you or not give you what you want. So basically, it's a tool to get to know yourself and what kind of a person you want to be in the world. So let's even
Be the change you want to see
or even
in
like
the world.
give you not
Easy.
even like I don't know, everybody's young here, but let's say when we die, what do we want people to say about us at our grave? What kind of is this person was fun? Is it was supportive, kind, loving, protective of the family? Think what you want to see, what you want to be reading your eulogy. And
No,
then
let's ask. Maya, thank you. What is stopping you think from being that what you want to see in another person?
I didn't get the question again.
What do you think is stopping you from being that person that you want to see in another person? Like you want stability. Let's beat around the bush. You want stability and you want that from another person. Why do you want stability from another person and don't you think you have it in you, or you just want that person to match your stability already that you have?
Both actually. I feel matched, and as well I feel that I can do much better what I have right now.
So you have it in you
Yes,
already.
I want a person to grow with me. Not that I'm insecure or I lack something. It's not like that, but it can get better.
that's for you to decide. If this is
Right.
if this is might not be the relationship, if you cannot, if you're stable, if it's important for you to have stability in a partner, that's why you know this is your priority. So you
Right.
might not want to keep this relationship
Right.
because it's not conducive to your growth. And that's why it's important to know what's important to you or not. Because for some people, instability might be okay as long as there is respect or fun or sexual attraction. So that's why it's so important to know. But what I was stressing in, why it's important, and but at the same time, say if your partner, another example, it's all depends. If say your partner is unstable, but it's somehow okay with you as long as you're stable, that's your decision. But this partner allows you to live by your value. If you can still maintain your stability even with an unstable, it's like a different level. But if you can maintain your stability with an unstable partner, it's your decision. It's okay to live in this relationship. But when you shouldn't keep this relationship, if stability is important to you, but your partner, for whatever actions or words, or in whichever way, kind of doesn't allow you to be stable, always destabilizing you, that relationship is not conducive to your main value. So might not be good relationship to your growth. So that's why it's so important to know what's really important to you, like 5-6 top things, which might be what we call a deal breaker. Because every relationship have what we call a deal breaker. And another thing that is so important to know your values as the last thing, which I want to kind of finish up before. Because there are some interesting points, which always kind of I was thinking about. Because there is some kind of impasse subjects. Like, for example, the couple gets together, right? One really wants children, another one is completely doesn't want children. What do? So you would love the person, but you know your values. So if the children is absolutely your top priority, that might be deal breaker. But if say I want children, but it's my sixth value, my first value is love and sexual spark, you might say, okay, maybe I can make some kind of a compromise. So that's why it's so, or like as example, one partner wants to live in the United States, another one wants to live in Russia. So you say, okay, staying close, my family values, being close with my family. What kind of, is it my top priority, then a relationship might not work. If it's my sixth priority, then I say, okay, maybe this partner provides me with so much respect or so much sexual spark, then I might tolerate. Yes, I still like to be close to my family, it's still my priority, but I might negotiate that. So it's all about mental construct, and that's why I'm trying to stress that it's so important to know what you want, then you can come into relationship with a clear head. Or if relationship hit a serious roadblock, you think what this roadblock is, and is it worth my compromise? And what kind of compromise I can make for myself, not for my partner, for myself, to live the kind of life I want to live. Or what kind of a compromise I cannot make. And then you decide, because sometimes people go on and on for years, yes, I want to stay, then I don't want to stay, and they're being just miserable. And literally being miserable. This is no, if you have those tools, it's literally, it's like a math. It's like you, literally like a computer. I know we're human beings, we're emotional. But sometimes it's nice to be clear who we are, so we kind of put it in the spreadsheet, okay, that meets my needs. Yes, yes, no, no, when you make a decision. You can still make a decision emotionally. I'm not saying not involve your emotions. But sometimes always it's nice to be clear, and then you can see what your emotions
And
lead
communicate.
you. Yeah. So that's what I want to kind of, because this is a foundation for all relationship work. Get to know yourself and your values. And then we can talk about so many other things, like we already talked about mental construct, and then you will see how we can implement it in life, how we want to, there are different strategies for maintaining the commitment, there are different strategies for communication, for knowing our reactions, and next time we can look at the 9th, I know we talked about schemas, Natalia gave us a wonderful exercise, but there is a 9 scientific steps of how to recognize your schemas and work with schemas, so we can do that. But before we do anything, this work. It's like ABC, it's like alphabet. You cannot start reading until you know your ABCs. You cannot play music until you know the notes. And usually this is the hardest part. Learning alphabet is the hardest part. Knowing, the notes is the hardest part. But once you know it, it comes naturally to you. So getting to know yourself is the hardest. Guess what? This is the hardest part. But once you do it, everything else will start falling into place.
Thank God. Thank you. Anyone wants to be committed now? After all this hard work, advertisement? Yeah, the life can be hard or might not be hard. Let's close our eyes. Let's sit up straight and take a deep breath and sigh out. With the next time when we sigh out, let's just drop all the worries, all the burdens in that exhalation. Let's inhale, lift the shoulders up, and exhale, drop. Last one, inhale, and drop it. And just mentally scan yourself. And start feeling your breath. Place your left palm facing the right, in front of your nose, and the right palm is touching, the fingers touching your wrist of the left. And keep your eyes closed, shoulders down and back, sit up straight. Inhale slowly, fingers together. First, feel the connection, like Irina said, feel who you are, who you are with this posture. Focus just above the eyebrows. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly and continue. Stay with it. This is the part 1 to know your inner balance. Reflect your left side, your right side. Relax your eyes. Go a little bit deeper, slower breath. Go deeper, deeper into the brows, eyebrow point, the ajna area. Chin is tucked in. Feel what's going on. Last minute, slow down your breath as much as you can. This is your relationship between your left palm and your right palm, relationship between your intention and your projection. Very good. Inhale deep. Hold your breath in and gently bring both. You can open your eyes and just look at for a second. And bring your thumbs into the bridge of your nose. And then bring your palms together into the prayer pose. Exhale. And breathe long and deep here. All fingers together. Straight spine, chin tucked in. Shoulders down. Still focusing at the brow point, going deeper within. Breath is slow. This is to know your inner projection, how we project out. Because oftentimes we don't even understand how we reflect and what's reflected. Maybe sense the energy of your fingertips all coming together. Maybe focus briefly on your chest area and then on your lower body. And bring it back to the ajna, the brow point, just above the eyebrows. When you breathe, feel if you're holding anything on your exhalation or exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. Try to relax here. Inhale deep. And now place your left palm on the heart center, right over the left. Exhale into the lock. Shoulders away from your ears. Breathe here. This part is to know your inner strength. Tap into your inner strength. Maintain gentle pressure throughout the breath. Let your body ignite from your heart center, from the connection. Come into relationship with your heart. Stay with it. Let the change be your guide. So as you go through, keep holding your hands. As you're going through that sensations, monitor the change in your sensations of the palms, your thoughts, maybe a little more expansion in your awareness. Inhale deep. Hold your breath in. Squeeze your rectum, genitum, sex organs, lower belly gently. Bring the energy up to your crown of the head. stay there. Focus at the brow point. Exhale. Inhale, stretch up. Open, open, open. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it, squeeze it, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Go wild. Instagram, YouTube, go wild. And exhale, sweep your aura, sweep your magnetic field, release your arms down. And relax here, keep your eyes closed. And relax completely, whatever that means to you. Now bring your hands into your lap and enter into a relationship of your romantic relationship. So, no relationship is actually over. Doesn't matter which color it takes, like romantic or business or whatever, unless we learn the lesson from that relationship. Once we learn the lesson, then we can move forward or do something else. So bring any relationship you choose into your space, maybe most unresolved. You don't even have to name it, you can just say in your head, most unresolved relationship, and something will show up. And establish connection from your heart and focus on the spine, focus on your spinal cord. Be an observer of that relationship. Step back from the action. And observe that relationship as an observer. Don't think, don't force anything. Allow yourself to perceive. Now let's take a deep inhale and exhale into that relationship. Again, inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Disconnect from the relationship. And this is a great technique in every aspect of your life. Just step aside, disconnect. Restore your energy field as if you're having a bubble around you. Focus on your heart center again. Take a deep inhale. Make the most sacred wish to your heart. And exhale. That's it. We can wake up now. How are you doing? Sleepy?
Wonderful. So relaxing.
Good. So, every aspect, like now I'll start talking from the spiritual standpoint. every aspect of everything, right? A relationship has different approaches. Just like with layers, just like with levels, whatever, however you want to approach it, it could be all addressed differently. It can be very hard, it can be very easy, just really dependent on how you can tune into the energy, right? Sometimes once you just tune into the energy of the event, it basically it resolves itself. So like with the door, right? You can break into the door. You can
Mhm.
just keep knocking. You can keep moving, whatever you want to do. But once you just get the key, you know, you have got the key, you can just enter very easily. Or if you know where to push, right? The right, like maybe if it's open, but you just don't know where to push it, to press a certain area of the door. So the same thing with energy of any relationship, and like we did in the meditation, we created some picture, we had a lesson, right? Until you address that lesson, until you resolve that situation, it's going to haunt you. Especially for women, it's very relevant for women because women have the energy, the auric field of woman. It's an amazing theater. You can see so many things that that happened. So that said, women's aura, the energy field, contains her male relationship until imprints, until she resolves it. That is actually created as a protective mechanism from the ancient times, of course, because we really didn't change, right? Except for, I don't know, vaccine, whatever. So that's created as a protection. When a man would disappear, a woman can recreate the energy of the man's energy field to protect her child. So the woman, with the women, we have two arc lines, aura and arc line, and two arc lines, like double, 16 times more powerful protection and projection. So whatever we project on a man, that's a part of women's course, but it's good for you too, and for whatever you project, the man perceives it, and even if the man is not present, you can still contain his energy and affect it. So until you want to resolve this, congratulations, you are one big family. And that said, any relationship has a lesson. So I don't know if you got anything from your meditation, if you had any revelation of whatever had to be resolved, you know, or maybe just, sometimes it's just energy that you don't even have to know, and not everything has to go through the mind to resolve it. It just, sometimes it's just like very easy click, and you just have to find the right point to press, basically, right, to resolve it. If you want to let it go, if you want to work with it, whatever you want to do, it still has to be untightened. So that's the energy part of the relationships. And
But what if one of the partners learned the lesson and another one didn't? They still
they learn the
stay
lesson. Oh, it doesn't
connected?
matter. That's, you want to do your part, and you want to, if you want to move forward, right? If you want to contain the relationship.
But if he's still connected,
If you, you mean if you didn't work it out?
he didn't work.
Like say
But
one
women, they work it out. Men, they don't really have that. The energy disappears very quickly. The energy connection of men, it lasts
Okay.
2.5 days or something.
seriously?
No, I'm sorry. No, it's like 180 days. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like you.
Yeah, because
Don't worry about the men.
well, speaking about unresolved relationships, there is
Yeah.
a teaching which kind of goes in line with that. That's it's going in the karma and different lifetimes. So sometimes if it didn't work out something in the previous lifetime, we come into this lifetime. We'll try to work it out. But say if one partner, to answer your question in this realm, if one partner works it out, or whatever gets his or her lesson out of it, but the other one doesn't, what might happen, and again, this is a theory, you go on to the next lifetime and then try it again to work it out in a different dimension. So as example, say you're working out relationship with your partner. In the previous lifetimes, you can be mother and daughter, or son and, or slave owner and a slave. So you had some kind of relationship, you're working it out. If it's not getting worked out, it means one of you didn't learn your lesson. It's like basically like being held on in a class. So one of you will graduate and go to a different class, another one will not. So in the next lifetime, you will approach this relationship from a different levels. So that person will still be learning the lesson. You might be learning the different lesson for the same relationship until you get it. You'll stay in the same grade until you get it, pretty much. So
But
that's another
That's,
thing.
that's a great explanation. But nevertheless, it never it's actually never the same. So if say you completely learned your lesson and resolved all the energy and everything, you're like bright and shiny, it will affect your partner. Even if
Yeah.
it doesn't, it will eventually. Maybe it will take some time for it to show, but it will. It cannot. It just can't stay the same because the relationship is the energy coming from both, right? Even if you the one creating for both of you, or however it's working, but it's affecting both people and it's coming from both one way or another, just being a reflection, just being a projection, however it works. But if you change this bubble of your relationship, the bubble will not stay the same. It's impossible. It's not divided. So
Okay, that's a great point because it actually goes into what we're talking about values and acceptance commitment therapy. There is one question usually people bring up which goes exactly along with that.
he
Energy
doesn't want to
change.
change.
Yes, what if one partner wants to work on a relationship, another doesn't? Does it mean it's completely 100% doomed? Sometimes yes, but sometimes no. Because once you start to change, your energy is changing. So it does affect your partner in some way. So it's bound, he or she is bound to change it somewhere.
Yeah, there's
It
no
might
way out
not
of
be
it.
to the level that you, I mean, that would be acceptable to you in some way, shape, or form, but there could be some kind of movement. And there is no, like in everything, there is no guarantee, but yes, energy is a living,
No, there is a
breathing
guarantee that
thing.
there will be a result for sure.
Some
But
kind.
what the
But
result will
what's
be,
I think I think it's a great thing what you were doing. Like I felt like my heart chakra was opening. It's very important to do some kind of exercises, which Natalia does so expertly. To mine, it's to open your
We
heart
agree too.
chakra because then we can really connect. Then we're not go because our head can play tricks on us. Because
Yeah.
if we process everything
don't trust your head in
with
relationships.
our mind, yeah, well, sometimes it's kind of a fine balance.
Yeah.
You do trust, but you have to know your gut feeling. Bottom line, you have to be connected with
perspective,
yourself.
yeah.
And the way to do it, but if you closed up here, you don't process any energy here. It's all stops either here, so you make your decisions with your, sexual organs, or with your head. But the best decisions are made with energy flows, and it goes from down here and from here, and it's all connects in heart chakra. But for that, it has to be open. It has to be working. And then people say, oh, I just know. And to know and trust what you know is to have your heart chakra open.
Yeah. And it's actually easy because, like Satsiri, for instance, in her classes, she'd say that another teacher, amazing teacher, she'd say that it's very easy to open the heart chakra and close. It's really our choice. We make it unconsciously sometimes, but we really choose to whether open it or close like a door. Very easy. So you just have to pay attention. But another point I wanted to bring about the commitment is that there is a energy correspondent plane to the commitment, which is the first chakra. The chakra, the first and second, it's a relationship. So how you are able to relate to people and connect, first is security, second is relationship, and creativity, and sexuality, which is like that other one. But if your chakras are not operating well because they're so close together, then you really don't know how to commit. On the energy level, you will just maybe you want to do this, right? Maybe every day you wake up and you say, I'll do this meditation for 62 minutes today from now on for a year. But something stops you. So that is your first and second chakra. First is you have to root yourself, right? You have to be rooted. And second is the ability to relate. The third is in this case, there's so many aspects, right? In this case, it's ability to project and connect. And the fourth, yes,
Solar
the heart.
plexus, right?
Yes. And the fourth is it's a mixture. It's a conduit between heavens and earth. So basically, everything comes there. And the fifth, it's actually, I don't know if you saw my post about the fifth chakra, but there's this very easy exercise. You can just tuck your chin in. It's called Jalantarabanta, neck lock. And you hold it for 11 minutes. And
Like that?
more like just push it back.
Okay.
Yeah. And close your eyes and hold it and breathe and for 11 minutes. Easy, right? So this will connect the strengths in your neck. The stronger your neck will becomes, the more stable you are in your communication. Because sometimes we don't even know how to communicate with people, right? And communication is the most effective and the most powerful way to affect a relationship. So when this is working properly, then you can really truly communicate what's needed to be communicated.
Tell your truth. Be able to not just to know your truth, but you'll be able to express. That's
Yeah.
know your truth, and that's
Mhm.
to express, right? Be able to.
And actually, this
Communicate
is
it.
to know and to be able to listen, even
Mhm.
to listen, because without perceiving the information correctly,
Mhm.
you cannot really relate
Yeah.
properly. Because, for instance, if you think you see another person and you think that person is Chinese, right, and you start speaking you start speaking Chinese to the person, and the person is Vietnamese and has no idea what you're talking about, and you did not perceive the subtleties, for instance, right? You don't know, and you just keep saying whatever you're saying, right? However you're doing it. But when we can engage all the centers. First, the root, then the second, the third. We engage all of that. We really communicate in the best faculty of that particular moment of time and space. So that's like, because there's no remedy for everything. I mean, there's just one remedy: just be in the moment. Just do what's the best for this moment. And then this is your intuition. That's what you know what's the best is for this moment. And your 7 is your connection with the higher being, the universe. So basically, you want to connect all of that. And your 8 is your aura, and of course, we have so much more. So it's just like the major points. So we want to engage all of that, but relationship is maintained, commitment is maintained on the first and second chakras. So just remember that, work on your lower centers, and you'll be fine. And we'll see, because sometimes it's just difficult to maintain that commitment, right? It's like you can know everything, you can understand everything, you can know, you can be ready for changing your diet, but for some reason you just keep eating sweets at 9 p.m. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What the reason is? Your second
But it's,
chakra.
yeah, but it's always okay to correct yourself and start over.
It's fine.
always okay to relapse. Let's put it this way. It's a nature of of any addiction, like addiction to sweets.
Yeah.
Relapse is the nature of any addiction. It's okay to relapse as long as you go back to.
But see, because it's not even the problem, because the person is not ready. Because once the person is ready to change, the change will come.
Yeah.
The same thing as you said, Irina, at the beginning, that when you have this inside of you, the other person will have it. It will be created in the relationship. So
Yeah,
there's
actually, it's great point about foundation. Like first chakra, what we talked about last time, relationship house was a foundation. So you're being able to be rooted to the planet yourself and rooted by saying your values.
and with the
That's a
reasons of the
foundation.
planet,
That is
the
your.
pulses.
So that's why I'm saying we're not looking for partner to provide us the stability as a foundation.
We're looking for chakra.
Yeah, once we have this chakra ourselves, we have our own foundation. Because everything else is being built up on top of that.
And if you're interested, for the next time, I can also invite our martial artist, Akai, you met him, specialist. He knows very well how to root and how to project from the third center, and he can give a few exercises on how to, from the point of like Tai Chi and Eastern medicine, so to speak, how to really go into your own strengths and groundness. Because these guys, the martial artists, how I call them, they're so good. Like we really complement each other because they're so good in being grounded and being determined and committed. And we bring them a little bit more etheric part and the lightness, but they can teach you great lessons.
Yeah, but it would be great actually maybe next time to talk more about chakras, give more understanding. More understanding. How much do you know about, speaking of, how much do you know about what Natalia was talking about, chakras?
I don't know.
Not much.
Not much.
Now, okay, now shall we start over?
So we can might bring some just next time, we can do some, because I think it's amazing. It's like also a foundation just to know your chakras, know your energy levels.
Yeah, but no. You see, because the thing is with chakras is that it could be applicable to any topic that you trigger.
Yeah, but just kind
if-
of tell you what they
If I
are
start
in
talking about
general.
all the chakras,
No, just in general. So the first chakra is related to that.
but
the
I just
second
named
is
them.
to that. Yeah.
I've just listed all of them. Just, I
Well,
thi-
that's actually a nice thing if you know how to open up your chakra.
yeah,
how to
I'll
work
be
with your
happy to talk
chakras,
more.
how to
yeah.
do that. That's actually very helpful too, because
Mhm.
what you're doing, you're connecting with your energy. And
Yeah.
once you open, like once you have this chakra open, you'll be able to communicate. With this
Mhm.
chakra, you'll be able to love. See, when you're closed, heart chakra closed, you cannot do what you want to do. Or like Mayank wants stability, right? You have to know, be very connected with chakra. That's stability.
Yeah.
Respect. What chakra is respect? Is it like
Respect is self, yeah, it's
Self-respect.
identity. So self identity would be the third.
third chakra?
Mhm.
So
And the first.
yeah, okay, because it's also so.
Mhm.
See, then maybe
What about fun?
Oh, it's all the chakras.
well, it can be sexual. Depends what kind of fun. Heart chakra, our
All
second
of
chakra, which is sexual. What else is second chakra? By the way, I know it's sexual. What else?
Creativity,
Creativity.
And relationship.
relationship.
That's yellow. Which one is yellow? I
The
know
third.
The third, and this is orange. And second is orange.
Second is orange. First
Okay.
is red.
And another cool thing, I
Orange.
think, yeah. Oh, okay.
That was the intention.
Depends what chakra you want to work with. You can visualize, like, make yourself a color of this chakra. So, as example, you want to work with opening your heart.
Yeah.
You can imagine yourself
You can remember my
Meditate,
sweater.
yeah.
Where
and green. You imagine like you being green. You want to work with your sexual energy. What? It's orange, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can imagine yourself orange. Your self-respect. You can work with, or you can
you
work
can
with
just
yellow.
buy yourself a
Imagine yourself
rainbow
yellow.
T-shirt
Oh,
and just wear it.
Actually, that's a great point. That's a. You can wear the clothes which is
Yeah.
corresponding to the chakra you want to work
It's
with.
like anchoring in NLP. Anchoring in
Mm,
neurolinguistic
ye-
programming,
ye-
something.
I don't know that much on, but maybe.
No, but
I don't
it's
know
the
that much
energy
about
of the color.
neurolinguistics.
Like, sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
You just have this. Like, for instance, I intentionally put on this color today because I knew I would be at least targeting the 2nd
Mhm.
chakra, and I wanted to be more reflective and you
Mhm.
to respond to that better. So that's the energy of color that it creates, and your
Which
chakra
chakra
is
is white?
responding.
Mm,
Oh, white
wow.
contains
Really?
all the
White
colors.
too.
White is the color of a
Mhm.
teacher, so it contains it's the color of your aura and
Yeah.
all the colors together.
Mhm.
So
Like
wha-
divine energy,
yeah.
right? Divine
all is
energy.
a good idea.
And what's the first chakra? What color is the first chakra?
Red.
Red. Oh, that's.
And head.
The 7, violet.
Violet. So 5, 6 is
Indigo.
indigo.
Dark
Indigo,
blue.
violet, and white is like the overall
Yeah.
connection with the higher.
And heart is green. And
Mhm. Yeah, so that's cool. Would be cool thing to say if you think you go through your values. What you can do actually, you can think about it. You can
Mhm.
see which values connected to which chakra and kind of went over it. So how you can really get connected. You can
Yeah.
do the meditation.
yeah.
Not only show it and just imagine yourself this color. Just sit and meditate and say, okay, let me, or maybe wear this color or look at something that
Yeah.
color. Because that's
Paint
very
your
powerful.
house just to be safe. If you want stability, you can make it red. It was a joke, but I mean,
But why not? Some people actually do paint like red
Yeah.
walls for some reason.
Yeah.
So maybe that means they feel like some people intuitively like say when you paint the color.
More gray, black.
it's actually a color of escape. It's more like a gray. It's a lower points, like below the knees. Brown, gray is grounding. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
release and grounding. Brown is connection with the earth. It's good colors. Yeah.
But it's kind of has to do with stability, right? If it's connected, or
It's more
not
like release, you know.
it's more like
not
a release of
yeah.
energy going
Yeah.
down them.
Yeah. More like not bringing, but letting go.
Letting go. Okay, it's not like going to an ancestral energy in the earth. It's just more letting go of your energy.
Yeah.
Connect. Okay.
Like a sewing pipe type connection.
Yeah, very interesting. I learned something. Oh, thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah, so I can invite Kai if he makes it. I can invite him to show us a few exercises.
Yeah, because it's great to blend, like what I was talking about, mostly from here, Natalia was showing you. It's great to blend it all, and that's how you work, that's how you get integrated. That's how holistic.
Yeah.
You work from different
whole-
direction. You know the theory, you know the emotions, And chakras, that's a very powerful. So it's like thousands of years of science, which goes back thousands of years, right? Into yogi, and
Yeah.
and the
Vedic science.
Vedic science. It's amazing science and does work. If you connect with it. So once you
Mhm.
start approaching yourself holistically from all
Yeah.
standpoint, then you will see how everything will come together. Because lots of people do it. Fortunately, lots of people are really skewed. They either go all from the head or
Yeah.
all from the
Mhm.
spiritual connect. But the cool thing is to do, that's what we're trying to
Yes.
do here, is to blend.
All
Is
of
to
it.
blend all
Mhm.
of it to come up with a whole holistic, integrative perspective. That's what you call integrative healing.
Oh my God, we
Healing
just came
and
up with a
knowledge.
name.
Because it's exactly what
Mhm.
we're doing, because this is what it is.
Yeah.
We're giving you some basic scientific, everything's scientific foundation, but we're approaching it
There's
from
different sense.
different directions. Yeah, we haven't even talked about astrology. It's
Oh
at some
my,
point
oh
that's
my,
coming.
yes. We could totally do that. Maybe next time, Kai, you can do that.
We'll figure it out. So, how are you feeling, guys?
Great.
Yeah?
Let me the information. For me, I don't know what happened.
For me too.
Yes?
It's
Awesome.
funny that all the chakras and all, I mean, my parents, my grandparents used to tell me about it. And
Of course, yeah.
never specifically for brothers.
Mhm.
They themselves, my parents don't practice, but a couple of my friends I know, they used to do meditation for the chakras.
Mhm.
And it took me more than 25 years to realize that I need to really think seriously about this.
But you see, it's already with you, because if it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
embedded in you up to 7 years old, that's when the personality is formed, the basic personality that doesn't change through life. You already have you just have to tap into that. You
Right.
have it, it's easy for you.
Right.
Let us know if you have any questions. We have some tea is available if you like. Hang
we can
out,
talk
don't
next
have to
time.
rush.
Yeah, we can hang out and talk next time, because
Yeah.
sometimes it
I'll
takes
try
time
to
to
talk.
process.
Mhm.
And then questions sometimes come up later on.